The distributive property. To multiply a sum by a number, multiply each addend by the number outside the parentheses. So let's see what is an addend. An addend is B is an addend, C is an addend because it's part of an addition, and A is multiplying the parenthesis that contains an addition, B plus C. So in order to multiply this sum, B plus C, by a number A, I'm going to multiply each addend by the number outside the parentheses, meaning A times B plus A times C. So what I do is this, A times B plus A times C. The same thing here, B times A, BA, plus C times A, meaning CA. Let's see the example number 1. Find 6 times 38 mentally using the distributive property. What do? We rewrite 6 times 38 as 6 times, open a parenthesis, and let's see how can I write 38. 38 can be written as 30 plus 8. Then I'm going to do the distributive property. I'm going to do 6 times 30 plus 6 times 8. I know that 6 times 30 is 180, and 6 times 8 is 48. Then I add them up. 180 plus 48 is 222. So 6 times 38 is 222. Let's see the example number 2. Use the distributive property to rewrite parentheses x plus 3, meaning the 4 multiplies the parentheses, the addition of x plus the number 3. So let's rewrite 4 times x plus 3. Since you have an addition in the parentheses, I'm going to multiply the number outside, 4, times each of the addends, x and 4 times 3, like this. 4 times x is 4x plus 4 times 3, 4 times 3. Now 4 times x is 4x and 4 times 3 is 12. So this initial equation can be written as 4x plus 12 using the distributive property. Let's see some exercise now. Find each product mentally, show the steps you used. Okay, 4 times 82. I'm going to do this. 4 times parentheses. I'm going to rewrite 82 as, for example, 80 plus 2. Okay, then I'm going to use distributive property. The distributive property says that I have to multiply the 4 times the 80 and the 4 times the 2 and write it here. So 4 times 80 is 320. Why? Because 4 times 8 is 32, and since I have a 0 of the 80, add one more 0. Plus 4 times 2. How much is 4 times 2? 8. When I add these two, 320 plus 8 is 328. And 4 times 82 is 328. This is an easy way to multiply numbers with 2 digits. Let's see number 2, for example. 9 times 26. I'm going to rewrite 9 times 26. The 26 I'm going to rewrite it as 20 plus 6. I'm going to do distributive property. 9 times 20 and 9 times 6. I rewrite it. 9 times 20 plus 9 times 6. I do this multiplication here. 9 times 20 is 180. Because 9 times 2 is 18. Since I have a 0, I put a 0 here. Plus 9 times 6, 54. So I'm going to write 54. So what do I have at the end? 180 plus 54. How much is that? 234. This is 234. So 9 times 26, my original here, is 234. Very good. Let's go to the next one. Use the distributive property to rewrite each algebraic expression. 5 times the addition of y plus 4. So I'm going to do distributive property by doing this 5 times y and 5 times 4. 5 times y is 5y plus 5 times 4. Simplify. 5y plus 5 times 4 is 20. So 5 times y plus 4 is 5y plus 20. Let's go number 6. 3 times 7 plus r. So the 3 you're going to multiply the 7, and the r is going to multiply the 3. So this is going to be 7 times 3 plus r times 3. R times 3. 7 times 3 is 21. And r times 3, I'm going to rewrite it as 3r. And this is my expression after applying the distributive property in this original expression. Equivalent expressions. Equivalent expressions are expressions that can be changed and simplified to make an expression that is equivalent to the original one. And for that we're going to use several properties that we already been working with. The first one, just to remind, is the commutative property. Is the order which numbers are added or multiplied does not change the sum or the product. If you have a plus b, it's the same thing as b plus a. You swap the addends and you have the same result. And the multiplication, the same thing. A times b equals b times a. You change the numbers and you have the same result. The associative property is in the way which numbers are grouped does not change the sum or the product. For example, if you have the addition a plus b and you add a number c, it's the same thing as adding the addition b plus c to a number a. This is in the addition. You associate, in this case, a plus b, and in this case you are associating b and c. And the product, you have a times b times another c is the same thing as a times b times c. In this case you associate a and b, and in this case you associate b and c. The like terms contain the same variables. For example, like terms 2y, y, 7y are like terms. For example, 2 apples plus 1 apple and 7 apples are all the same family. 4x, for example, is not like term with y because they have a different variable, the x. Very good. Being that said, let's go to example 1 that says simplify the expression 16 plus the addition, because you have the parentheses, of v plus 4. What do we do first? The commutative property. So this original expression, we're going to write 16 plus, instead of v plus 4, we're going to swap it. 4 plus v. That is the same thing because by the commutative property, I can swap it and it's the same value. After that, we're going to associate. What are you going to associate? The numbers 16 and 4. So make a parenthesis and associate 16 and 4 because they are numbers. Leave the variable alone, v. Then I'm going to add 16 plus 4 and I have 20. And add the v. The v is a variable, a letter, I have to leave it alone. So my original expression, simplified, is the same as 20 plus v. Let's go to another example. Example number 2. Simplify the expression 3x plus, parenthesis, 6y plus 2x. What do we do first? We use the commutative property. So we change the 6y plus 2x, we swap it and make the 2x very close to the other x. So I'm going to have 3x plus 2x plus 6y. That is the same as 6y plus 2x. What do we do next? We use the associative property, meaning I'm going to associate the like terms, 3x and 2x. They are like terms because they have the same x. 3 apples plus 2 apples. Here, 3 apples plus 2 apples. Plus 6 pairs or whatever. I'm going to combine the like terms, 3x plus 2x, that I have 5x. I'm going to add the 6y. I'm going to leave it like this because 6y doesn't have another like term. So my final expression, this one, simplified, is going to be 5x plus 6y. Let's see the exercises and see how can we work with them. For example, the first one. 5 plus x plus 3. I'm going to do this. 5 plus x plus 3. I'm going to use a commutative property. I'm going to change these two. I'm going to add first the 3 and last the x by commutative property. I'm going to put CP, commutative property. Okay. Now, associative property. I'm going to associate these two that are numbers, 5 plus 3. Correct? I'm going to add the x, associative property. Very good. Now I'm going to add these two. 5 by 3 is 8. These two and plus x. And this is my final answer, my simplified expression for 5 plus x plus 3. This is my equivalent expression. Let's see number 2. 6 plus x plus 4. I know these two are associate because I have a parenthesis. I'm going to do the commutative property. I'm going to just swap them. 4 plus x. You see, I swap this one and this one. Just change the places. Commutative property. Very good. Now I'm going to associate property. These two numbers. So I'm going to put in the parenthesis. 6 plus 4 plus x. I associated these two. Now I know how to add them. 6 plus 4 is 10 plus x. X I cannot add it with this one. I cannot incorporate it to 10 because 10 is a number and x is a variable. And this is the answer for number 2.